Hello, everybody. Thought it'd be cool to give everybody a little update as far as the Anna pedal, Claudio Sanchez Anna pedal goes. When we first decided to do this project, we were doing it on the pre-order basis to see how much interest there was, how quickly they would sell. And that gives a smaller company like me a chance to anticipate things better. And I told Claudio and crew that I wanted to kind of take the people that did the pre-order and all that kind of through the journey as we're finalizing things. And I've got some of that together now, and I wanted to share it with you guys. You may have noticed on the image that's on the website and that it's actually a generated image. I've kind of learned how to do the images that look pretty realistic now, but that's, it's meant to be kind of a stand-in for the real thing until that comes in. And, but, it's pretty darn close. We're going to be uploading some pictures of the real deal, but I'm going to show you on this video what things ended up looking like, and really excited about it. It's really going to be a cool pedal. And I'm going to put some pictures in here too. But we started off with the prototype. Unfortunately, I don't have that with me, so I can't show everybody because Claudio has that. But there's pictures of it, and that also I'll upload some more. But started off with that. We dialed everything in, and then we started selling them. They sold out super quick, but we had already fortunately started ordering parts, because parts tend to be what takes the longest, or it's always what takes the longest when it comes to pedals. Usually building them and doing all that stuff takes a while too, especially a small shop like us, and we're doing stuff, most of it by hand. But so once I got the layout all done, I did all the layout for it. Layout, if you're not familiar with making pedals, that is when you're designing the actual circuit board. Grab one here and show you. So this is a circuit board for Claudio's pedal, and I asked him if he wanted something on the back. He said, yeah, he thought it'd be really cool to have this on the back, and when it rings, will you answer? And he said all the fans will probably know exactly what that means, and explain to me what it means. So I'm not going to bother explaining it here. I'm going to assume that you know. And of course, we have the Dragonfly on there. A lot of little parts going on in here, but we got that designed. When you do your first designs, a lot of times, no matter how many pedals you've done, we've done a lot here at Ren & Cove. There's always little things that'll pop up, maybe little things that you're not anticipating. You never know until you get it back. And then you might have some little thing pop up like, oh man, this little part's, this part's a little too close to this, even though I'll upload a video of this as well, but you can do like 3D modeling to get where all the parts are going to be and all that. There's just stuff that you never know till you have the unit in hand. So this is the first version, roughly sorted out. It's not going to look a lot different from the new version that I'll show you, but there are quite a few substantial changes on it. And the next thing that we had to do was I had to set out, I was able on that image on the website to get pretty close to the color of the album. The album's a little tricky because it's got a gradient over it, and so it's not exactly a true color, it's that greenish, yellowish sort of color. So I had to spend a ton of time with color cards. Here we go. So as you can see, there's a place called Prismatic that does powder coats, and it's always one of the most fun parts of making pedals. You get to go through and you get to look at all these samples and colors and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, even though I have this huge color wheel that they sent me with, I've used it a lot over the years, and, it gives you a real sense of what the color is going to look like. There wasn't really anything close here. So what I had to do was start searching online and searching over, lots of colors and trying to find good pictures that would actually represent the color. Because at the end of the day, you have to just kind of take a chance and order a color, and you get some samples made, and either it works or it doesn't. And I finally was able to find a color with Prismatic called Bullfrog Belly, which is kind of a funny name. And so I ordered that color. I'll show you what color that ended up being, which I was pretty happy with. I'm really happy with, because we kind of lucked out with the first order. I've had times when sometimes you order something and it's a little different, so you have to kind of tweak it and before you decide on the final color. But we got pretty damn close here, about as close as I think we can get, which I was really stoked on. I showed Claudio; he was really happy with it. The next step was my friend Matt at Matthew at Disaster Designs. I sorted out all the artwork, sent it over to him, and he always kind of finalizes everything. And this is what we came up with. And as you can see, looks pretty damn close to the artificial image of what we were anticipating it looking like. And I was really, really happy with that. Really excited, because you never know. I didn't want to put out this image, and then be like, oh man, I couldn't get it close to that image, because you're always, never know till you have it in hand, like I already said. And once we got it in hand, I was just like, this is one of those pedals that it's just coming together, exactly like we wanted it to, and exactly like we'd hoped for. So more on that in a second. So we got the enclosures. That was awesome. We're stoked. I had ordered some knob samples, and we wanted to have those shiny knobs just like are in the picture. And the first ones we got were these guys that they look really cool. They were kind of a little inexpensive. I was actually kind of suspicious. I was like, those seem cheaper than normal knobs. They looked really nice online, and they look nice in a video like this. But when I got them, it turned out they need knurled posts. I mean, I knew they would need that, but knurled posts means these kind of little, these little slotted posts, which nothing bad about those. They tend to work well, and they can work well for a long time. Some people like them, some don't. We don't generally use them. We use them for some stuff here and there, but we don't use them a lot. But once I got them in hand, it's all plastic on the inside. You can kind of feel, they are aluminum, I think, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it feels like a aluminum plasticky alloy. I don't know. But I really wanted the pedal to be, once you get it in hand, you're really like, oh shit, this is like really good quality. I didn't want it to be one of those ones where, you look from a little ways away and you're like, oh, that's great. And then you look at it up close and you're kind of like, oh, that's cool, but not that great. It's it's no secret. It's an expensive pedal, and, it costs quite a bit to make. And I want you guys to feel like when you get it, that you're like, I see why this is an expensive pedal. It's really well made. It's really nice. And, to all of our pedals, I hope that when somebody gets them in hand, they're kind of shocked by the weight of it. And you just want it to show quality. I never want our stuff to come across cheap, and I certainly now I'm representing Brendan Cuff, and I'm also representing Claudio in a sense with this. And I know he's not going to want something that's like not top quality. So we got those, and I was kind of like, I don't think those are the right ones. They're just not. So what we ended up doing, all right, obviously this isn't a super high-tech official video here. So what I ended up finding was I just went for something super simple, nice aluminum knob. I know this might be a little more detailed than everybody needs, so you're probably a lot of you skipping past this part, but I like this kind of stuff, and I thought maybe you guys would enjoy it too. It's always fun to kind of have something to look forward to. So these are solid aluminum. If you look inside, you can see it's like all solid aluminum. It feels heavier. It's got a nice set screw on the side with an Allen wrench key, or Allen wrench, you need to put it on so it latches really tight to the post, which is a smooth shaft post. So show you what that means really quick. There's a smooth shaft post. So this one latches onto there, and generally it holds more steady, and it just kind of has a nicer feel. Again, I have nothing against knurled posts. We use them on certain stuff. There's some values and some switches and things like that you can't get with a smooth shaft, so we'll use those sometimes. But we had one other dilemma. So we got all that. We settled on those knobs. But inside, this kind of goes back to the circuit board. When I sent Claudio the pedal to the prototype, you know, he decided I sent him all these different clipping options, and clipping meaning to somebody that doesn't know distortion pedals, different options for how the distortion would sound. The idea was that he was going to pick one or two of them, and we would have that as an option. So I had 5 different things on a switch, and the proto was this big ugly thing, and he was like, "Well, can I just have all of them?" And so I was like, "Yeah, we'll work it out, sure." So we ended up doing that, which I kind of knew when I was sending it. I'm like, I think he's going to like all of these, and we're going to end up with that. But so I guess I was right. So the problem was a lot of times you can do that switching nowadays. You can do it digitally, and that's what most people do. And that needs a microcontroller. So instead of having, a mechanical click, click, click switch like the proto that I sent, a sort of simpler method would be to go digitally and have it be a switch that just sets off the digital switching. So even if the pedal's analog, the switching's done digitally. Problem is we're in a big microprocessor shortage. It's the whole thing. If you tried to buy a car, they're higher priced right now. We're coming out of it, but we were designing it. A lot of my friends in the industry, we don't use microcontrollers really. We haven't. We had a chorus pedal that we did for a while, but might be doing a delay that'll use them, but we haven't done it yet. We keep, everything that we have is straight up analog right now. But some of my friends were like, "Bro, you don't want to tangle with trying to get microcontrollers and all that right now." So I decided on mechanical, but those mechanical switches are huge. So hunted all over online, got a bunch of samples, and we finally found these nice little mini green guys. And this does have that slotted post on there. And this is one of those situations where they didn't have them in smoother, and to get them custom made, I think they wanted me to order 20,000 of them, which I don't have need for 20,000 of them, but they had these nice little guys. So I made a little subboard. I won't get too into it, but the subboard, in order to get it to be the right height on the enclosure, we had to make a subboard, and then we have things that it stands on to hold it up to the right height, and then it connects at 7 different points, so it's like rock solid. It's even more solid than other switches. It came out really nice. That may be a little too in-depth technical for you, but the cool thing is this is a notched switch, so it has that nice satisfying click, 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 feel. It is mechanical, so it did require more work to get it. It takes up more space. The nice thing if you do it digitally is it's real easy. You can do it real small, and the microcontroller takes up some space, and it's real smooth. But this is like old school click, 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 click. So we found that. That was really cool. So once we got all that together, I'm going to pop this off. We ended up with straightening these knobs out so it looks all pretty. Yeah, I'll kind of do it here. There we go. We ended up with, ta-da, the Anna pedal. And, I can't tell you how excited we are. It just, it doesn't happen that often that I'll just, usually things require the artwork, they require more revision. We had to do some. This is the second version. We had to do some little tweaks here and there, but I mean, all in all, it came out like exactly like we were envisioning, the color, the artwork, everything. We had one more little problem. So since this rotary is pretty close to this knob here, the original switches that we had, they only made them in this tall version, so it kind of stuck out. And I was worried about people clobbering it with their foot when they go to do the switching. So I wanted to make this one extra short. So I did some more digging around, tried a bunch of different suppliers, and finally was able to find these little guys that are nice and simple. They go with the other knob and look perfect. And they're strong, they're sturdy. They do have the knurled post, but these seem really solid. I'm really happy with them. And when you put it on, see how it's it sits lower than the other knob. So, and that thing, I mean, you know, you could hit it really hard. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could hit it with a hammer, and that's not gonna be any problem. So I'm not worried about people stepping on it. It's gonna be nice and solid, rock solid toggle. So I mean, you know, this thing is made for, you know, to take a real beating, or it just looks, if you're not a guitar player and you just ordered it to have the collectors, if you collect a lot of the Coheed stuff, it also just looks gorgeous on a shelf. Now to the good part. You guys are probably saying, when the hell are we going to get ours? These are a little bit behind. They may not, we quoted 6 to 8 weeks. Some of the early orders will be within that 6 to 8 week range. There may be some delays on some stuff, just going by all our quotes for some of the, once we order the real big bulk parts, everything looks good, but generally there's always a little bit of a delay. I could go back, I might have made it more like 8 to 10 weeks as that quote, and then try to get it earlier. But I don't want to say that it's going to be a lot longer yet. I mean, it won't be a ton longer either way. But if you've emailed and you're, you know, wondering, hey, that's all nice and dandy and everything, but when the hell are we getting our pedals? I mean, no one's been mean or anything, but, you know, that's the answer right now. The earlier orders, we ended up, you know, these flew out the window. We ended up having 500 orders that came in, which is really, really nice. I mean, I was really surprised, just because you never know how audiences are with bands, and you never know how many musicians there are and everything. And I knew Coheed had very loyal fan base, loyal followers, and, you know, but all of us were kind of like, let's see. I knew it would sell. I had no doubt about that. I just didn't know how many. But we did decide to cut the quantity at 500, and we're already working on them, getting them made. And a couple other little details, not as, you know, important, not as exciting as the actual pedal, but so we got these guys. We had to get some of these. We use these on our J Mascis pedal. These little guys, only for like special pedals, because a lot of them we you know, the box is about the size of the pedal, but these gives a real nice presentation when you open the box. It is, you know, here, you open it up, and you're actually going to see a manual. It's a booklet here. That's one thing we don't have yet. And outside label, out like this. Super exciting, super fun. And when you open it up, also, put another pause on this. So I asked Claudia, I said, hey, can you send me some little, you know, pics or something to put in the boxes with them? And he sent some of the pics that he uses, these glow in the dark guys. Yeah, there, I think you can see it now. And also these ones. So there's going to be, you know, I know it's just a guitar pick, you know, but I love little things that I get inside, you know, when I buy stuff. So I think it's really cool. Of course, I stashed a few away for myself, and every one of them is going to come with one of each of these too, which is like a nice, cool little touch. And I think you'll dig them. And these are, I guess, the ones Claudio takes on tour with him. And I was stoked that he and Dunlop were, happy to send us a couple bags of those for these. So that's nice. What else do we got here? And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give everybody an update there and kind of show you the process as we're going through it and some of the little things that we've had to deal with, and let everybody know that your pedals are being made and we're excited about it and they're coming out great. And you'll be getting more updates as I get those ship dates dialed in. We're going to be making them in batches of 100 at a time. So the first 100 you'll get a notice, but I'm going to also send out, I'm going to let people know what batch their sale came in. We're doing them in that order, but of course you have no idea, what number your order was exactly or that. So I'm going to let everybody know, hey, your order was within the 2 and 300 range, and this is when we anticipate shipping those, etc. So you'll have a good idea of when you're going to be getting them. I'm not doing that just yet because I want to be sure that they're pretty accurate, but you'll be getting those. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's long. I know I keep looking at the center because whenever I'm in selfie mode, you want to look and see what you look like, and then you have to remember to look here. Anyways, thank you everybody for your pre-purchases, and we're excited to get them to you.